but not making an excuse or looking for any empathy in my case, but just, however, being in that position of my life, finding out something like that, something that I would say is probably one of the biggest things that have impacted me positively and negatively in my life when it comes to dealing with the relationship I have with my mother. So that definitely was a very heavy topic on me, and people don't understand what it's like to have to.
So I cut it off a little bit before she finished because she kind of went on and rambled. I don't like my sound bites to be no more than 30 seconds long. I just want to get the point across. But all I have to say is good for you, ShaCarri. And it's more than I can say by people who don't know you. She stood up. She said she made a mistake. She said why she did it. And whether I agree with why she did it or not does not matter. She stood up for herself. She owned it. And she says, look, I'm young. I have another maybe 2 or 3 Olympics ahead of me. I'm 21 years old. So what the hey? I'm going to come back stronger than ever. And that's the attitude I like to see. She's never, now, once again, we don't know what she's saying behind closed doors. She's in the interview. She's not going to come on, obviously, and, cry racism or they wouldn't do this to somebody else. She's not going to do that even if she felt that way. But I am going to give her way, way beyond the benefit of the doubt and say those were her own words, right? I don't think she had to get anyone to write that for her or to kind of, say, what she was going to say. I think that was from the heart. She didn't have a script. She didn't read a statement or anything like that. I watched it. She just said it straight from the heart. So once again, I commend her for that, which is more than I can say for people who don't know her. And I'm looking at, like I say, social media, and everything goes to race. They're talking about black people boycotting the Olympics, not watching it. They're talking about athletes not boycotting the Olympics and not showing up and seeing just how much the medal count would be without black athletes. It's just such stupidity among people who always just go to the race card when you can see. You heard her say it was her fault. She knew it and she did it anyway. So where are you going with this? It just boggles my mind to think what people cannot see. I made a comment. It's almost just kind of like you trip and fall because you did not tie your own shoes. You tripped over your shoelaces. And it's racism because the ground was slippery to black people who bought tennis shoes that white people and other races don't. See how stupid that sounds? This is what people on social media are going to right now. And there is a social media platform called Twitter, right? And all you have to do is hashtag ShaCarri Richardson, and 7 out of 10 comments are calling for black people to boycott. It's racist. They wouldn't do it to white people or any other country or any other nation, which is totally false. Black people shouldn't watch the Olympics. One comment even said they loved her at first, but when she started to show her blackness and her personality, then they tried to kick her off. How stupid is that? If she wouldn't have I don't care how much blackness you wanted her to show, if she wouldn't have smoked the weed, she would have been on the Olympic team and the favorite to win the gold medal. So that's so stupid. That's just coming from young, dumb, stupid people who don't know the definition of personal responsibility. That's where that's coming from. I totally get that. So, ladies and gentlemen, when ShaCarri Richardson, ran those trials in Eugene, Oregon a week or so ago, those times and the position that she finished are totally now erased. And I would imagine they will kind of go back and give the second place, or just basically the next 3 fastest times will qualify, and then they will get that spot. Much like when Ben Johnson beat Carl Lewis in the Olympics, I think it was in LA, and Ben Johnson tested positive. Then Carl Lewis ran second, and then Carl Lewis was awarded the gold medal, or, in that case, the gold medal. But I think in this situation, ShaCarri Richardson will, spot will be taken away, and the next 3 will earn that berth into the Olympics on the American team. And some people are saying that marijuana is not an enhancing drug. Well, we know that. Okay, that's crazy to say. She didn't get suspended because the International Olympic Committee feels that it's an enhancing drug. They don't want people running around looking like Cheech and Chong, stoned all the time, or just having a bunch of athletes all over the world, all willy-nilly on all type of drugs. So all of it's illegal. Just smoke the weed when you get back home. It's just 2 weeks, right? You can't go 2 weeks. Like I said, I commend her for coming out, but some of these excuses that people are writing on social media is beyond me. You know, you're not supposed to do it. Don't do it. And if you do, just, the people on the outside, because ShaCarri sounds like she's accepted it, but the people on the outside have to accept it too and stop playing that race card and accept some personal responsibility like she did and say, well, look, just don't do it again next time. If she has the right to appeal it, then exercise that right and then roll where the punches take you. That's how I look at it. But boycotting? What the hell I'm boycotting? I love the Olympics. I love swimming and everything about that. I love the, track and field. I love everything. I'm not boycotting because somebody didn't want to follow the rules. Like I said, I'm not tied by the umbilical cord with her or any other person. I'm going to watch the Olympics because I want to watch it, not because someone made a mistake and then somebody else is telling me to boycott. That's another thing. Why do everyone try to make you feel the way they feel? Like we all have the same brain or something like that. I'm not going there. That's just crazy. I'm watching the Olympics. I don't care who it is. The United States don't even have to bring a team to the Olympics. And I'm watching because I just like competition. And, I root for the United States, of course. But, I also root for other athletes of different nations who I like. If I see something I like about them, their personality, maybe the way they carry themselves, I root for them. I root for excellence, right? So, there's just some events to where that's just how I go. I'm not, boycotting just because she's black. I don't identify with her, and I don't identify with her lifestyle, just to be totally frank with you. But she is, once again, a representative of the United States, and I would be rooting for her in that particular event more than any other American, because not only did I think she would have a legitimate chance, and she was the favorite to win the gold medal, but I think that she would have had a good chance to break the world record. And I would have loved to seen her knock off those 2 Jamaican chicks down there in Rah-Rah Land, Elaine Thompson and Jillian Fraser-Price. I'm tired of looking at those 2, right? We need somebody to step up and knock them off, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It just doesn't, unless somebody else comes from nowhere. It looks like the Jamaicans will reign again in women's track. So once again, I'm sad for her. I was rooting for her, but once again, I also root on the side of correctness. And like I said, she takes her lumps. I accept it. Let's move on. Next 3 women up. Let's go for the gold. You never know what's going to happen. So on that note, I'm going to end this episode of the Fabulous Form Factor. I want to wish you all a very happy 4th of July weekend. It falls on a Sunday this year in 2021, so that means that a lot of you all will have Monday off. Hopefully the weather is good. I know the East Coast got a lot of rain the last couple of days. Hopefully that will wash away. The temperatures won't be too hot. And here in California, we're not going to be that lucky. We're looking at 106, 107 degrees pretty much over the Southwest region. So nevertheless, come out at night, listen to fireworks, cook some good meals on the grill that day. Think about how we gained our independence in 1776. Go from there. Have a great, great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll see you on another episode of the Fabulous Forum Factor. Bye.
Were you entertained? Were you informed? If the answer is yes to both, please tune in again next time to the Fabulous Forum Factor and all its facts with Mr. Kenneth Moultrie.